When it comes to Pinocchio, there's arguably a surplus of movies about the mischievous puppet boy. Now Guillermo del Toro has served up the 22nd adaptation, his passion project, an animated feature using stop-motion puppets that uses the tale as a jumping-off point to weave in historical fact with fantastical fiction. Its existence does, however, beg the question, do we need another Pinocchio movie? And in the case of del Toro's offering, the answer is hell yes. This latest take on the iconic character is a majestic work of art.
I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't. A story of the wooden boy.
Animation studio McKinnon and Saunders has brought to life gorgeous, eye-popping, textured puppets whose dynamic personalities have been carved into every groove, limb, and feature. You can see the dirt under Geppetto's nails and the tiredness around his eyes from his decades-long career of carpentry in a small hillside town in Italy. He's become a sad and lonely drunk after the death of his charming son Carlo during the Great War, a relationship the story spends joyous time with early on to emphasize just how profound a loss it is. He fashions a wooden stand-in for his lost boy like a mad scientist during a drunken stupor, and the result is rather rough around the edges. But when Tilda Swinton's feathered wood sprite gives it life and names it Pinocchio, his slapdash body matches his haphazard outlook on life. The wood sprite is a wondrous sight. She's a mythical-looking creature whose vibrant color palette and eye-shaped plumage seem inspired by the Nazar of Arabic folklore. Sebastian J. Crickett's appearance is also on the blue spectrum, but a darker, more regal hue to match his rather inflated sense of self as a traveling writer looking to pen his own memoir. Ewan McGregor's Sebastian is both a narrator and guiding supporting character to the willful, naive, and boisterous wooden boy, whose funniest moments come at the Cricket's own expense.
I had so much to say about imperfect fathers and imperfect sons.
British accents are a little jarring, as most of the background characters have Italian accents, but McGregor, David Bradley, and Gregory Mann never fail to imbue Sebastian, Geppetto, and Pinocchio with warmth, vulnerability, and emotional gusto. Mann especially during some sensational singing scenes. His high-pitched musical theater range has a lovely husk to it when performing catchy songs that use thematically suited wood instruments. The story hits lots of the same beats as previous retellings. Christoph Waltz's opportunistic carnival showman Count Volpo tricks Pinocchio into leading his roadshow, forcing Geppetto on a rescue mission and in turn needing rescuing from a massive sea creature. Waltz knows all too well how to seamlessly switch this antagonist between sweetness and malice. This is by no means a sanitized version of the story, and its anti-fascist messaging is pretty timely. Set predominantly during the 1930s when Mussolini's regime infected the furthest reaches of Italy, various citizens live in quiet fear. Podesta is the fascist enforcer in Geppetto's town and voiced with spine-tingling menace by Ron Perlman. He introduces the other dysfunctional father-son relationship in a story about grief, love, and accepting each other for who we are rather than rejecting each other for who we are not.
I'm a real boy!
Guillermo del Toro sprinkles his signature dark whimsy on a fairy tale classic with stunning puppetry and catchy original songs. Filled with heart, humor, and historical grounding, it's a phenomenal feat of animated cinema. For yet another take on the famous wooden boy, check out what we thought of Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
You may have no strings, but I